Happy Saturday, my candy canes. What is up? What is up? I'm back. I had to take the week off. You guys, you just have to do self-care. I was sick. I wasn't feeling good. I had some relationship, romance issues, but we will leave that for a self-care session. But I am back. I love my candy cans. You guys hold it down. Yes, as you guys come in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this. We are going to be getting into it today. You know I love a conspiracy theory. Like, you know I love a good conspiracy theory. And I have to say, I think I know where the money is. I think I know where this $80 million is. But we're also going to talk about ERIKA and Garcelle and Sutton and dirty Rinna. But we are going to get into it. Hi, R. He's sending some love. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, Sharon Redmond says, hello, my love. Hey, beautiful. Hey, the Vegas girl. She goes, hey, Candy, I'll be driving, so let me say hello now. Yes, Vegas girl. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming through. Hey, Sharon. She goes, where did Ice Queen Fish Face hide the money? Only Rinna knows. Only Rinna knows. We are going to get into it. Hey, Lynette Kitten Scott. Yes. Hey, sweetheart. Thank you for holding it down, my beautiful mod. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hey, Sandra Richardson. She goes, hello, everyone. Hello. You guys, don't forget to subscribe and like, and the call-in button is up. Once we get those likes up, I'll be accepting callers, and we could talk about this conspiracy theory. I think I know where the money is. We're also going to be talking about just everything that's been going down with the girls in Beverly Hills. I have a lot of thoughts. A lot. And Jessica, not Jessica, you're Jessica. She goes, hey, candy girl. Hey, Jessica. I meant Erica. Girl, you dirty. And you're caught in lies. So many lies. Web of lies. Hey, Lafina. She goes, hey, y'all, candy canes. Hey. KA says, hey, Candy. Hey, beautiful. Yes. Hey, gorgeous Amelia French. She goes, hey, Candy, glad to have you back. Yes, glad to be back. Yes. We are going to catch up on all the good, fun stuff. This week, I was sick, not feeling good. Not COVID, thank God. But I was just under the weather, not feeling good. So I said, let me slow down. Let me take some things off my plate, get better, get recouped, and then come back stronger. So any of you guys out there, if you are feeling tired or sick, take care of yourself first. Always make sure you take care of yourself first, especially now with the Delta variant and with COVID and everything going on. If you don't feel good, slow down, take care of yourself, take some things off of your plate, and do you. Get better. So that's what I had to do, but we are back and we are back in action. Also, I have scheduled tons of lives up until I think Wednesday or Thursday of next week. So the schedule is up and we are good to go. So as you guys come in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Once we get those likes up, then I'm going to get into the conspiracy theory that I have. Once we get those likes up and we get some more people in the room, but I'm about to get into my thoughts on everything going on. Amelia Francis, you are so right. Yeah, I missed you guys. I love you guys. I wasn't feeling good. And it wasn't just YouTube that I stopped. I skipped a couple workouts. I slept in. I made sure to hydrate. I was just like, I need to make sure I'm taking care of me. So, but we are all good. And for everybody who reached out, thank you. That was so sweet. I'll be more mindful next time that if I'm not feeling good or if I'm going to be out, I'll say something to you guys. I didn't realize that. So I just say thank you and I appreciate you guys for checking in on me, my candy cane community. I love you guys. Rodriguez says, yay, happy to see you. Happy to see you too, boo. I'm happy to see all you candy canes. I've missed you and I love y'all. You don't understand. I love you guys so much. Kay says, oh, glad you're feeling better. You look great. Thank you. Yes, rest is so important. Got to keep your resistance level up. Exactly. Like usually I'm the type of person, if I'm not feeling good, I'm just going to push through. I'm going to show up. I'm just going to, hustle and grind it out. Not that anymore. Now, if I don't feel good, if I need some rest, I'm taking a break. And that's how we all should do it. Hey, Amara Lewis. She goes, hey, Candy, Miss Candy. Yes. Pinky in the brain times 3. Hi, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful, blessed day. You too, sweetheart. Oh, this is my favorite. Hey, Tubely Back Native. Hey, sweetheart. She goes, hey, Candy and the Candy Canes. Yes. Show out and come through. DGF627 says, all the candies. I love you guys. Yes. Sandra Richard says, we miss you dearly. Yes, but I am back. I am feeling good when we are back in action. And I can't wait to share some conspiracy theories with you guys. This week, I'm also going to go through another conspiracy theory with Fallon and her pregnancy, but I'll save that for that live. Today, we are going to get into it with these Beverly Hills, Erika Girardi, and all this stuff. Young Rich, hey, he goes, hey, Queen. Yes, the Queen's back. She's feeling good. Okay, my beautiful candy canes. As you guys come in, like, subscribe, and share. But right now, I'm going to give my thoughts on what's going on in Beverly Hills with Erika, and then I'll get into my conspiracy theory on where I think the money is. Okay. So let's talk about the big moment with Garcelle and Erika at La Quinta, at Kyle's place, when Garcelle said, oh, if you don't mind me saying, Erika said that Tom still calls her. And you know how Erika lost her damn mind when that happened? You know why she lost her mind? Because that just showed how much she was caught in a lie. Because if you remember, she was saying before, oh, Tom is, he's so cold. He doesn't have any conversation with me. He's just not interested in me. There's no love there. The day I left, I dropped him off at work and I said, I love you. And he said, like, thank you or something like that, something really weird. So she had been lying and setting up this fake story for why they got divorced, that he wasn't into her anymore, that he had no interest in talking to her, that he was being really short. But lo and behold, now you're saying in a moment of vulnerability that you maybe you forgot that you were mic'd up and you forgot you're on a reality show, Erika. I don't know where you thought you were. Maybe you thought the cameras weren't rolling, but you should know by now in the game, the camera's always rolling, especially sound. You want to now come out and say he's been calling you every day, that he loves you and he misses you. And are you sure? Are you sure about what? This sham divorce? Are you sure you want to go through with this sham divorce that doesn't make sense? So which is it, Erika? Is Tom so, diminished mind, cold, can't have a conversation with you, won't talk to you, doesn't want to get help, blah, 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 blah? Or is he this loving husband who's calling you every day, telling you he loves you and misses you, and getting your story straight about what you're going to say to get yourself out of this mess? That's why she had that fake crocodile, oh, this is too much, I've been trying to, like that whole horrible mess that she did. She wasn't crying because she felt betrayed by Garcelle, who she clearly doesn't think of as a friend. She was crying because she was frustrated that these women were still asking her valid questions, and she was crying because she got caught in another big fat lie. Big fat lie. Your whole reason for getting divorced was because he doesn't talk to you, but yet now he's calling you every day and he loves you and he misses you. Make it make sense. Another big fat lie is this whole 3 years ago car accident stuff. It turns out, shout out to Up and Adam and Kimpire Daily. I think that's where I heard this. It turns out that there's no police record of this alleged car crash. Pasadena police have no record. There's no medical record, no hospital records, and no police records. That this epic car crash where this man allegedly now all of a sudden went from a sprained ankle to being unconscious for 12 hours. Where was he unconscious at? You're telling me he was unconscious outside for 12 hours and you didn't take this man who was in his 70s and 80s to the hospital? Where are the hospital receipts? Was he unconscious at the hospital? There are no hospital receipts. If you're telling me this man who was in his 70s and 80s got into a car crash so bad that he was unconscious for 12 hours, the police weren't called, and nobody went to a hospital, girl, you're lying. Dead through your teeth. And plus, these allegations have spanned for two decades. For 20 years plus, they have been running this alleged Ponzi scheme, this alleged, stealing from Paul to pay Peter, alleged stealing from your clients for over 2 decades. So coming up with this fake storyline about he got into some alleged car crash 3 years ago, and that's when he started being mean to you, and he was out unconscious for 12 hours, literally makes no sense. Also, the whole fake thing about him cheating, which Garcelle caught you in that another too. She was like, well, I asked Erica, was there a third party? And she goes, no, not that I know of. Like, she said no. But then in the next scene, Erica was like, those fake text messages from like the 80s with some woman like, my husband's cheating on me, blah, blah, blah. That was a complete lie and sham. Like, Erica, everything, like your slip is showing everywhere. Rinna, extremely problematic. So allegedly what the streets are saying is that Erica loaned or gave Lisa Rinna, $5 million. This $5 million either was some type of loan or like hide the money from me or something like that. I believe it's Ron Richards is the lawyer who, again, shout out to Up and Adam. I think he's always on Up and Adam talking about his deep dives into trying to find the money. And I believe, allegedly, Rinna took that $5 million and she put it on some offshore account, and that's where it goes cold. But Rinna did receive $5 million from Erica, allegedly. And also, Rinna and Erica share a money business manager that I think Rinna introduced her to either earlier this year or last year, so recent enough. And that to me just shows that Erica and Rinna are in cahoots when it comes to this money. Not in the way that I think that they're in cahoots with stealing from the victims. I think that they're in cahoots with knowing how to clean money, launder money, hide money, steal money, all of that stuff. Erica is a snake and Rinna is a snake. They're cut from the same cloth. And that's why I think Rinna is going so hard defending Erica. And I think Ron Richards said that based on what Lisa Rinna has been saying, she now too could be deposed in all of this because she's coming out her, I know she didn't know and da-da-da-da-da and all this stuff. Well, how do you know? Well, we're going to depose you to find out. How do you know? So who knows? Also, word on the street, allegedly Rinna's house was mortgaged out millions of dollars and all this stuff and all these tax liens and all this crazy stuff. So maybe that $5 million was to help Rinna and then also maybe to hide some money. Who knows? But it is so very, very clear that Rinna and Erica have done something dirty with money. Their business manager is also corrupt and is probably helping them do this. And now that everything has hit the fan, I don't think it's so much that Rinna is defending Erica. I think Rinna doesn't want her closet opened. I think it's mutually assured destruction. And this is all alleged, all alleged, all alleged. Yes, Michelle, it's all alleged. It's down there for entertainment. This is just my opinion, speculation, not fact. Alleged, 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 alleged. Okay. Whew, okay. Thank you for that reminder. So I don't think it's so much that Rinna is protecting Erica as a friend. I think it's Rinna and Erica both have some dirty mess going on. And Rinna knows if Erica goes down, then my shit's coming out too, and I'm going to go down too. So that's why I think she's fighting so hard for her, because she's also trying to hide her stuff. Because I don't think Rinna has a true friendship or loyalty to anyone other than herself. So I think the only reason why she's going to bat for Erica is because she doesn't want her dirty laundry to come out too. That's what I think when it comes to that. Okay. Sutton and Garcelle. I love them. I love their friendship. Crystal, now that Crystal has chilled for a bit, I like Crystal. Now that she's stopped coming for Sutton's neck, I like Crystal. I think Crystal, Sutton, and Garcelle, if the three of them could be combined Charlie's Angels style, I love them. I love them. And I love Kathy too. I also, Dorit, who has no storyline whatsoever, Mrs. Flip-Flopper left and right. So remember before we talked about the Beverly Hills ladies and I said that there's an alliance between Dorit, Rinna, and Erica. And you see that play out. You see that alliance play out. So Dorit had everything to say about Erica behind her back during the like sister circle powwow that Sutton put together to talk about everything. But when it came down to it at the table, Dorit pulled a Cynthia Bailey. I don't know her, like flippity, flippity, flop, flop, flop. And tried to throw Sutton under the bus. Again, I think it's that Dorit, when it comes to Dorit kissing Erica's butt, I don't think it's that they are in cahoots when it comes to the money aspect, the way I think that Erica and Rinna are when it comes to money. I think it's information. I think that Dorit has probably shared with Erica some of the dirty business that her and PK have done. Because let's not forget, PK and Dorit are moving every other year. PK and Dorit have been sued. PK and Dorit are allegedly, word on the street is they have been fraudsters. They owe people money. Their investors are suing them. Their businesses are fraudulent. They are constantly moving and all of these things, that they're pretending to have this lifestyle and they're pretending to have this money when they really don't. So I don't think it's that Dorit's allegiance to Erica is because of like the $5 million that she gave to Rinna. I think that her allegiance to Erica is that all three of them are really shisty and dirty, and that Erica knows where the bodies are buried. So I think that's what their alliance is. I think it's all three of them, Erica, Dorit, and Rinna, are all very shady and allegedly fraudulent, owing money, doing all this stuff. I think they got together and they said, let's deflect for everybody else's life that's going on the show. Let's go on the show, let's do our thing, but let's protect each other's secrets. And so I think that's where the alliance is. So you see Dorit flip-flopping like a fish out of water because she did not want to go up against Erica, because I think Erica knows where the bodies are buried. And that's why Dorit is such a flip-flopper when it comes to that. But Dorit really needs to pipe down, because I think I saw in the trailer how she was trying to come for Garcelle and almost had to like catch herself from calling her an angry Black woman. And if you low-key watch, Dorit is very dismissive of Garcelle. Like she'll look at her and be like, and then she'll like keep talking. And I was so happy at that lunch, or I'm sorry, at that dinner, when Garcelle was like, well, that's not what you said last night. That's not like, keep the same energy, Dorit. Keep the same energy. Because at the Sister Circle powwow, Dorit and Sutton were kikiing about not wanting the smoke from it, not wanting their reputation messed up, not wanting to be associated with it. Where did the money go? The stories aren't adding up. Erica isn't making sense. Dorit was co-signing everything, had her concerns, read the article, knew what was going on, and so did Cuckoo Kyle over there, who is slick with her stuff. Oh, you didn't see the article, you didn't see the test. Let me show it to you. Let's find the house in La Quinta. And speaking of Tom and Erica's house in La Quinta, allegedly it is an address for like one of his fake shell businesses. And that's why nobody lives there, or Erica never saw it. So allegedly that's like a front address for one of his like businesses or whatever. But Kyle was also piping up and talking, and she'll say really slick things, and she, went to a lawyer too, but then when it was talking to Erica, oh, Faye's husband, trying to like slick it back. And I agree with Sutton. I do think that Rinna tipped off Erica. I think Erica came into that dinner knowing what the women were going to ask and say, and she knew what they talked about the sister circle. She was not caught off guard. Rinna definitely gave her the heads up. And did you guys catch, and if you didn't, you should go back and watch. You should, what do you call it? After that dinner, when Erica gets into her Range Rover, because she's so poor now, she has to drive her Range Rover. When she gets into her Range Rover, did you guys catch the look on her face? The look on her face told it all. It was, she gave a look of like F these bumbies, like whatever. Like it was like you could see the switch between how she was pretending to be, oh, I'm so affected and upset and just, oh, I'm just trying to get through it at the dinner, versus how cold and how much she really did not give an F about any of them or any of the victims or any of this. Go back and watch when she gets into that car. She has this nasty look on her face like, fuck all of you. I really don't care. Like, get out of my face. Like, you can see the switch, and it's scary. It is scary. Go back and watch. It is bizarre, but it's like this switch, and it totally tells on her. It was crazy. Let's see what else. Oh, Teddy, shut up, Teddy. What? I agree with Garcelle again. Why was Teddy there? Oh, Teddy, shut up. She's like, I think we all at this table have gone through lawsuits. I know. Not all of us, but you have, Teddy. Wasn't Teddy's all in being sued because she was basically telling people to starve themselves? It was like eat 200 calories and then go for lots of runs or something like that. And then also Teddy's husband, allegedly, Teddy's husband, his security company was also being sued. Because weren't they doing a very, almost similar to a Jen Shah situation where they were preying on older people and setting up some securities and on these like reoccurring payments and doing all this stuff, and like the people didn't really understand. So yeah, Teddy, of course you're like, we just have to believe her because your husband was allegedly scamming people too. So of course you're like, it's not our business, it doesn't affect us, because your family's being sued too. So Teddy, shut up. Why were you there? Go away. Like you oh, Teddy. I can't. Ridiculous. Okay, so let's see what else is going on. So love Sutton and Garcelle. Rinna tipped off Erica. Dorit's flip-flopper. Where else? Love Kathy. Okay. Let's see here. So did you guys hear about Ron Richards and how he was saying that there is an Amex bill from Erica's allegedly for like $25 million, and it showed all of her expenses like publicists and marketing and branding and singers and makeup artists and Ubers and for $25 million. I'm sure it wasn't like one lump sum bill. I'm sure it was just like an accumulation of Amex bills. But that is insane. Where did that $25 million come from for her to do that? That $20 million that was into her Erica Jane LLC and the $25 million Amex bill. Like, girl, like, hello. And I think he's doing a deep dive into all of that stuff. So that was insane. And that also showed us how much of a liar she was. Another lie she got caught in. Because remember, she was trying to lie and say she didn't have any credit cards. She didn't have a debit card. She never went to the bank. She would just ask Tom for cash and he'd give it to her. If that wasn't the dumbest, biggest lie I've ever heard of in my life. Who carries cash anymore? Who carries cash anymore? What you have like a bag full of cash that you go around? Like, no, everybody has a card. And apparently your card was for $25 million. So your lies don't even make sense. Make it make sense, Erica. Your lies don't even make sense. So let's see what else is going on in here. It's a car accident. It was a long story. Tom was cold. Okay, do you guys want me to talk about how I think about the other housewives or just keep it on Erica? I'll talk a little about the other housewives. Okay, so Sutton, obviously, just love her. I think she's cute. I think she's great. Crystal, I'm happy that Crystal has chilled and she is sort of just more mellowed out, not trying so hard. I love Kathy. I love her love one-liners. Kyle doesn't irritate me so much. I know a lot of people think she's really irritating, but like, what is Kyle's storyline? Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on in Kyle's storyline? I think all the women are really kind of happy this thing's happening with Erica because Kyle's husband was being sued too. Allegedly, his company also defrauded people. He bought some like big property, but he didn't disclose that he was one of the buyers. And so he undercut the person. This is all alleged. I mean, it's court documented, but I'm saying alleged because I don't want anybody to come after me. And then he oversold it for a profit, which I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Like, you're not legally allowed to do that. So his company was being sued. So all of these women and their husbands have had major lawsuits. So yeah, of course they want to make all their storyline about Erica because it's like, as long as we're talking about Erica, we're not talking about me. But what I will say is this. To me, Erica's situation so trumps all of the other stuff. I get what they did is shady. I get what they did isn't right. But the fact that there are actual victims, like true people who have been hurt, who have been maimed, who have lost loved ones, who have lost the quality of their lives, to have gone through such a tragic trauma and then be re-traumatized by someone that you trusted. And then to be in a place where you're just fighting for what is rightfully yours to be made whole again. And then to have all of that thrown in your face, looking at this man, Tom, leading this lavish lifestyle, and his wife, leading this lavish lifestyle, literally, I consider it blood money all over the place. And then now to not really have an end in sight. It's just gut-wrenching and so disgusting. So I don't really care about everybody else's life right now or storylines. I'm happy we're focused on Erica and her shadiness. And if you also notice, Garcelle was the only person who brought up the victims. And I loved how she said, if Tom did this, fuck Tom. I love that she did that. And I love that she said that. F Tom. Exactly. And I also think Erica didn't care about the victims. She was like, well, yes, I'm last. Well, we have to see what this man actually did. And I wonder, and if he did to this money, I want to know where it went. Where it went, girl, it went on your face. It went on your body. It went to the private jets. It went to your publicist. It went to your backup dancers. It went to your glam. It went to the houses. It went to all of this stuff. So when you say, if he took this money, I want to know where it went, look in the mirror, you vapid, ridiculous human being. It is insane. And I also agree with what Garcelle said. Erica, where is your anger towards Tom? I'm more pissed off at my ex for a stunt he pulled this week. Again, we can talk about that later. Than what Erica is upset about what Tom allegedly did. Make that make sense. She's not mad at Tom. She's in cahoots with Tom. I think Tom was always this person. I don't think that he met Erica and then turned into this person. I think he was always this con artist person. And I think he found the Bonnie to his Clyde. You know what I mean? I think he found the Bonnie to the Clyde. I don't think she cared that he was corrupt. As long as what she wanted was getting done, as long as she was getting her money, as long as she got to pretend to be this pop star, I don't think she cared where the money came from, as long as the money came. But I think that Tom was always this corrupt person. And then like attracted like. So crazy, so crazy. Okay, you guys, let's get those likes up because I am about to drop my conspiracy theory about where I think the money went. Where the money resides, where the money resides, where the money resides, where the money resides. Okay, are you guys ready? Here we go. So, Ron Richards, if you're listening, this is my theory on where I think the money went. Okay. So it's like around, because it's like a little confusing, right? It's like there was $20 million that went into Erica's LLC. There's a $25 million Amex bill. And then there's like this mythical $80 million that no one knows where it went, right? So I'm going to talk about the mythical $80 million that nobody knows where it went. And this is, again, I want to be very, very clear. This is alleged, my opinion. This is a theory. Not stating a fact, not saying this is the truth. This is just my opinion, just a theory, alleged. I think the $80 million went to payoffs. It went to hush money. And it went to offshore accounts. And I think that us wanting to think that Erica spent it all on glam is a red herring for where the money actually went. Because if you think about it, Tom Girardi has been running this scheme for over 2 decades. Millions and millions and millions of dollars. And he is only now getting caught when he's like in his 80s, in the very twilight of his life. He has been doing this for more than 2 decades, because he's 80 something right now, so 60s. No, but he's been doing this for multiple decades. He's been doing this before Erica. He's been doing this for multiple decades. You don't get to do what he has done by yourself. He has been known to donate to political charities, and he was on boards that appointed judges. He also, I think, was really active with like the LAPD, like the police force and all that stuff, right? And very high-powered, influential people, politicians and executives and police chiefs and judges and superior people and all this stuff, right? You don't get to run this scheme for millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars for decades and decades and decades without anybody knowing. Sutton came in and said that her friend knew about it 10 years ago. Where that $80 million went was to pay people off. Duh. That is where that money is. What I think that they were doing is that they were pretending it was for, we're going to throw this party at our house. We're going to inflate the prices, but it's really going to pay off this judge, pay off this police person, pay off, a potential whistleblower, pay off, hush money, all of these things. I really think that's where the bulk of the money went. I also think the money isn't all gone. I think it's on a lot of offshore accounts, Swiss bank accounts, whatever it's called. I think they hid the money offshore in offshore accounts, and I think a lot of money went to pay people off. And this whole, we're trying to figure out how Erica spent the money is really just a red herring, because they don't want us to look deeper at the bigger conspiracy of how did this man get away with this for so long. Because all big named people who eventually come down, it is always so clear that it is a network and it is a web. Look at Bill Cosby. He didn't it's not even alleged, but let me just say that to protect myself. He didn't allegedly do that to those women by himself. Directors knew, producers knew, agents knew, publicists knew, friends and family knew. All people knew, but these were all people who got paid to keep their mouth shut. Jeffrey Epstein, allegedly did his whole Lolita Express with all those young girls, and he was hobnobbing with all these rich and powerful people. He made his money because they wanted to keep him quiet. That's where his money came from. It was hush money. But he was able to continue to do that to all of those people for all of those years, allegedly, because he was enabled by a network of people who allowed him to continue to do it. So, of course, Tom Girardi has been protected all of these years by judges, by politicians, by rich, powerful people, by executives, by whoever else. And they're not protecting him for nothing. They're protecting him for a price. And I think that is where a lot of the money went. $80 million, if you really think about it, is not that much money if you're paying off a lot of high-powered people to keep your secrets, to not sue you, to not expose you, to keep you on boards, to do all of that stuff. Because people knew. Sutton's thing, she said it herself. She goes, I have some tea. She was just like, my friend's whatever husband worked there 10 years ago. And the wife of the lawyer was just like, you got to leave, honey, because like, we know that stuff is up. That wasn't the only people who knew. People behind the scenes. And that's what you really have to think about when we talk about this big stuff. It's like behind the scenes. And I don't mean like, I'm not talking about Illuminati, blah, blah, blah. I'm not talking about that stuff. I'm just talking about literally behind the scenes. There's like a completely different way that the world works. People knew what Tom was doing. And people got paid to look the other way. Tom didn't magically do this for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. He didn't magically, allegedly, steal millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of dollars from innocent victims with no one knowing. You see what I'm saying? I think the bulk of that money, the reason why they can't find it in a car or a boat or a house or a clothing collection or whatever it is because that money went to people to shut them up. And that is where the money is. It's hush money. It's payoff money. And $80 million over the course of how many decades really isn't that much money to keep a lot of people quiet. So I would look into who were the logical people who knew this was going on. Other lawyers, judges, executive people, police. You know what I mean? Like this spans. Why was this man allowed to do this for this long? Because I promise you, if it was Joe Schmo Esquire, based out of Inglewood, see what I'm saying? Got caught stealing his client's money, Joe Schmo from Inglewood Esquire would have been in clink clink locked up. There wouldn't have been a lot of protection for him. But Tom has been protected this entire time because he puts on that public front. He pays for all these accolades. He donates to political campaigns. He donates to funds. He donates to charities. And on the side, he's paying people off to keep quiet. Because he didn't do this by himself. People knew. So that is where I think the money is. I don't think we're going to find the money in ERIKA's closet. We're not going to find, you know what I mean? We're not going to find the money there. The money went to keep people quiet. And then there's also money on offshore accounts that they're clearly hiding. And I think that they need to, I think they're also deposing her business manager. But I think Ron Richards, I might be wrong on this, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he said, allegedly, if I'm remembering correctly, there's such a conflict of interest because I believe Erica's lawyers are the same lawyers as the business manager. And I think that they're only allowed to do that because it's civil. It's like a different, it's not like a criminal as in like a murderer or whatever. It's like something different. But the business manager needs to be deposed. They need to do discovery. They need to get to the books. They need to do all of that stuff. There is some crazy stuff going on. So let me see what you guys are saying in the chat box. If you agree with my conspiracy theory, because I think the whole thing about, oh, Erica, that is a red herring. I think they beefed up the books on her glam and the events and everything. And by beef up the books, I mean this. Let me, like, for example, and again, I'm using, like, these are, like, not real numbers. These are just to illustrate the point. By beef up the books, I mean, say she claimed to have spent $100. Obviously, this isn't it, but I'm just using normal amounts just to illustrate it. If she claims she spent $100 on hair, but she actually only spent $25, the actual rest of that $75 went to pay off X, Y, and Z judge to keep quiet. You see what I'm saying? That's what I mean by cook the books. Like, they're pretending that they're spending $40K in glam and this to this. They're washing the money. They're saying they're spending all this money for this, but it's actually being funneled out and going to other places and other things. And so I do think that this $80 million went to keep people quiet. I think a lot of her glam stuff and her Erika Jayne was a big front. That $20 million that got funneled to her account, to the Erika Jayne LLC, allegedly. I don't think all of that went to her Erika Jayne Pretty Mess persona. I think that was just a front that on paper they're saying they're spending $20 million on glam and on hair and all this on paper, but the reality is they're actually taking that money and they are siphoning it to other places or things, offshore accounts, paying off a judge, paying off a chief of police, paying off a politician, paying off an executive, paying off Joe Schmo or whoever it is. That's what I mean by cooking the books, and that's what I mean by ciphering the money. So let's put the money in Erika's LLC, this $20 million. Nobody knows where it came from, and nobody knows where it went. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it went to pay people off. That's how he has been able to get away with this for as long as he has. He paid people to keep their mouth shut. The same way, basically, Rinna got paid to keep her mouth shut. That's why Rinna is riding so hard for Erika. She got paid some money to either help or hide and to keep her mouth shut. That's what I think. Okay. Peeking the Brain says yes to the victims. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Kay says, that's what I've been saying. Lots of hush money. Exactly. And he knew it was eventually going to come crumbling down. So loss went into offshore accounts. Agreed. Hush money, offshore accounts, cooking the books, saying it's for one thing. Like, we all know, Miss Boo Boo, Erika, darling, your $20 million for what you've been doing wasn't cutting it. A lot of it went to offshore accounts and a lot of it went to hush money. But on paper, you want to say it went to Erika's. And that's why we're all like, what did Erika spend it on? They're cooking the books. Amara Lewis says, how much do you want to bet that those glam payments were funneled into an offshore account? Exactly. Yes. Can I get a witness going, Amara Lewis, hey, beautiful Amara. She goes, agreed. Yes. Hey, Lynette Kitten Scott. She goes, Tom's 82, so he's been at this for a while. Exactly. You don't get to be 82 and these millions of dollars over decades, you doing this by yourself. You paid a lot of people to keep quiet. Okay, it says Bar Association too. Exactly. That's the thing. Everyone, I don't mean like everyone, but I just mean like majority of like everyone and everything has a price. Has a price. Pinky in the Brain 3 says, yes, they know where the money reside. Exactly. Can I get a witness? Yelp. Crimes of the rich and powerful go mostly unpunished, allegedly cover. Exactly. Hey, Vegas girl, finally out of my car. I almost had to pull over when Candy was doing the Erica fake cry. I can't. Erica, if you need some acting lessons, I can help you. Erica boo-boo. Hey, Amara Lewis. She goes, hot. Erica probably banged his ASS in the eye. Exactly. Hey, Money Over Manor. Is it Money Over Manor? Okay. She goes, mutual secrets. Exactly. La Vegas girl goes right at Money Over Manor. Hey, CK. How long has the Erica Jane personally and yours begin? How long has the Erica Jane personal and yours begin? I don't know. Hey, BJ Des, she goes, I absolutely agree. Me too. Let's see what you guys are also saying in the comments. Hey, Joanna Morris. She goes, that money is not all gone. Exactly. It's been overseas for a long time. Allegedly, Erica know everything. I agree. Allegedly. Erica knows everything. And I think Erica has known everything. I think once they knew that the jig was up, they put the money into offshore accounts. They came up with this bogus divorce and all these stupid stories that literally make no sense, that they thought that they could do the okie doke. And that's the thing. Pride always comes before the fall. I don't understand how people think that they are not even smarter than the police, not even smarter than the feds. But how do they think that they're smarter than us? Like, I don't understand how these people, Jen Shaw, Teresa Gudice, I don't understand how these people, Mary from Salt Lake City, Dorit, like, I don't understand how these people come on reality TV shows and think that they're smarter than us. We are sleuths. We will screenshot. We will deep dive. You know what I mean? Simon Gubaudier, like all of these people, like, you're not smarter than us. The collective Bravo audience consciousness. You're not smarter than us. We always crack the case. It's crazy. Hey, Shepherd of the Forest goes, makes sense. Yep. Shepherd of the Forest goes, Lisa Rinna. Goes, doctors. Yes. Oh, how long has Erica Jane personality and Taurus begin? Oh, I think I want to say maybe like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. 5 to 10. I would say 5 to 10 years, I would say. Kel URL says, thank you. Shepherd of the Forest is 5 to 6 years, he thinks. Okay. Shepherd says, Gavin Newsom bragged about Tom's contribution. Exactly. And for you guys who don't know, Gavin Newsom is the governor of California. Okay, let's see here. Okay, it says, yep, I'm telling you, he was paying big bucks to someone in the bar association. I agree with that too. Allegedly, you know what I'm saying? I agree with that. How do you keep your license to practice law when you have been continuously sued by your clients? Payoffs. Big time payoffs. And that's a reason why I'm worried that Tom won't actually see any accountability, because I think they might go along with this fake, in my opinion, this fake dementia story so that he can kind of go away quietly, even though it's all in the blogs and we're all talking about it. Something comes up every time. But I think that they will close ranks so that Tom can be the fall guy and it doesn't come out about all of the other people connected to it. Why do you think Jeffrey Epstein committed the S word allegedly in prison? I don't believe he did. I believe that he was silenced. Same thing with that guy. What is his name? He was the McAfee guy, the guy who made the computer antivirus thing. He was a big conspiracy theory guy. He was running all around different continents and all over the place. And then when he was about to be extradited, I think either back to the UK or back to America, they found him dead in his cell. And he always said, I will not commit the S word. I will not, if I get caught and you find me dead, I did not do it to myself. He always said that. He made that very clear because he knew that he would be silenced, and he was. So I'm just telling y'all, hush money, payoff money. That money went to pay people off, and it's not all gone. It's on offshore accounts. Erica probably knows the account numbers by heart. She probably has them tattooed all over her body. Just the tea, please. Says, hi, Candy. Hey, hey. Hey, Joanna Morris. She goes, deflection, deflection, deflection. Exactly. They would rather us. And I don't know if the Fed or Ron Richardson have put this all together yet, but I know that Erica and Tom and whoever else, they would rather us focus on Erica's glam and the private jets and her hair and all this stuff, right? They would rather us focus on that than focus on the bigger picture, which is how did this man do this for so long to so many people with no one knowing? Because it's bullshit. People knew. The Bar Association knew. Judges knew. Executives knew. People in law enforcement knew. The victims knew. Other lawyers knew. Other people knew. People knew what he was doing. But he was allowed to do it because he was paying them off. He was paying people to enable him and to keep quiet. That's where the money went. But the money's not all gone. Yes, Lynette, thank you so much to my beautiful mod. She goes, please get those likes up. That is right. That is right. Hey, DGF627, she goes, I'm no Kwame Kilpatrick apologist, but what the Girardis have been allowed to do in plain sight, including not paying taxes, is truly corrupt. I think you meant. No, I agree. And that's the thing. Like the 1%ers, like the big people, rarely pay taxes. They know how to either flat out allegedly lie and fake and snake or whatever, or they know the legal loopholes that have been strategically put in place to make sure that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Not to have a cynical mindset or to be negative, but just to objectively look at the facts. There is a reason why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. That goes beyond personal accountability. There are loopholes, there are statutes, and there are this, that, and the third, and everything. Like it's insane. It's insane, you know? And it's about knowledge and accessibility. Corruption, really. Hey, can I get a witness? It was Bernie Madoff got caught, but his scheme was managed by a small group. Hope Tom and Erica go down. Me too. What they did is just so dirty. So dirty. Hey, Shepherd of the Forest goes, agree. Hey, Pamela. Yes, beautiful. Pamela Bourgeoisie says, hello, beautiful people. Hello, darling. Hello to you. Hey, money over mana. And she goes, and they probably holding each other's secrets, rich people problems. They will try to have a net to catch each other. Exactly. It is all mutual assured destruction, especially when it comes to Dorit, Rinna, and Erica. They are all in alliance together. I bet they know a lot of each other's secrets. And they probably took notes. Girl, how do you hide your money? Well, I hide it this way. Ooh, how did you beat that lawsuit? Well, I beat it this way. Oh, da-da-da-da-da. Rinna to Erica. Oh, I have this business manager. You see what I'm saying? Who refers a business money manager? I don't want people knowing my money like that. You know what I mean? It's like, especially in those circles, you keep certain things very close to the vest. Sure, you might refer your dentist to someone, but I'm not going to necessarily refer the people who go over my books, because there's certain things that you want to keep to yourself. Do you see what I'm saying? Unless you want to be in cahoots with someone. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Aw, Thank you so much for the super sticker, DG627. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Allie Jones says it's called capitalism. Let's see what you guys are saying. And up here. Okay. It says corrupt. It's right. Oh, okay. Thank you so much for the super sticker, DGF627. I appreciate it. Okay, CC says, when do you think it will everything hit the fan for them regarding the money situation? I think, okay, it's the end of August, maybe right before the holidays, like before Thanksgiving, maybe. I think it's going to happen sooner rather than later. I think everything's going to hit the fan. Definitely sooner rather than later. I think everything's going to hit the fan. But I think that, unfortunately, I think this is the tip of the iceberg on the level of corruption of these people. I think it's the tip of the iceberg. I don't think we have begun to know who all has been complicit and complacent and bought off and all of these things, because you don't run this scheme for this long by yourself. People knew what he was doing. But as long as they benefited from it, they didn't care. So I don't know. I just hope Ron Richards, I hope the feds, I hope whoever is the judges who is overseeing this, I hope none of them are corrupt, who are trying to save their own butt too. Because if you think about it, LA is a small town, very small town. So if he is being tried in LA, he knows those people. He knows the lawyers. He knows the judges. He might have even appointed some of them. Like, he was in a position to appoint a judge. And now he's being judged by the people he put in power. You know what I mean? So it's sort of just like, I just want to make sure that the people who are trying him are on the up and up themselves. Again, alleged, my opinion, alleged. I also want to make it very, very clear, I don't know any of the judges. I don't know any of the feds. I don't know any of the lawyers. This is just my speculation and just my opinion. But if you've been running this scheme in a small town of, LA, Bev Hills, it's a small town. Everybody knows everybody, especially at that level, very small circles. For this long, clearly not by yourself. How are the people who enabled you now all of a sudden are supposed to hold you accountable? That's a question too. Like, how did all of his motions go through, right? Like, let's think about this. Because now I'm thinking even more. Y'all got me even now on a deeper conspiracy level. How did his motions go through? How did he get to have his brother be his conservator without any actual proof that he is suffering from diminished capacity or dementia or all of these things? How did that get through? Like, why was that just allowed? Like, don't you have to really prove that? He was literally still on cases before this all went out. ERIKA on the show herself asked him to review her Chicago contract. So ERIKA, you're caught on another lie. And you're also showing that, Tom doesn't have dementia. You asked him on camera to review your contract. If you thought this man had dementia, if you thought he wasn't acting in his right mind, if you thought he no longer had his full capabilities, why are you asking him to review a very important contract for how much you're getting paid and royalties and everything else for the biggest gig of your life that you said you had, playing Roxy or whoever you were playing on Broadway? Make that make sense. So you're lying. He was literally working up until the day this all happened. So how did that go through? How did that go through? Also, how has it not been investigated, his alleged house break-in? So now that everything has gone down, and you have to start showing your assets and liquidating and itemizing stuff. Was there ever a police investigation into, remember when his house was allegedly broken into? Was there a police investigation into that? That is so shady. Did you find the alleged burglars? Did you confirm it wasn't Tom who set it up himself in order to hide and get back things that he didn't want the feds to find? How come there was no investigation into that? How come Tom is still allowed to live in that mansion? Tom is living his life day in and day out in that house. I don't think it's sold yet, but yet he's allowed to live there. Tom is being treated with kid gloves. He has gotten a lot of concessions. Why? Is this whole thing with him performative because it came out publicly? Because the victim started to speaking out to the media? Because there was the Hulu documentary that they did, The Hustle Life and the Hustler, the LA Times article. Is this, whatever that they're doing against Tom, is it performative for us? Because the people who are prosecuting him, or whatever it is, have known him his entire career. He's a big player in LA. He's a big player in Beverly Hills. He's being tried basically in his own backyard, in his own playground. Those people, at least some of them, logically must have known what he was doing. And on that account, some of them logically must at some point have been paid off too. So you're asking people who knew, you're asking people who enabled, and you're probably asking somebody who got a little bit of a blowback, a little bit of, kickback to now prosecute them. So how much do these people want to actually come out if their hands aren't clean either? It's not like he's being tried in New York City or Dallas or even San Francisco. He's being tried in his own backyard. How come nobody at the Bar Association up until now had a problem with the fact that he was continuously sued year after year, decade after decade, for not paying his clients their money, which is illegal, which is grounds for disbarment? They knew he was being sued for this, and he still got to practice law. That is corruption. But now you're saying that you want to hold him accountable, Bar Association? Why now? Because it's public and we're watching you? So how much of this whole Tom Girardi stuff is performative, and how much of it is actually them trying to figure out what happened? Unfortunately, I love our country, but unfortunately, our judicial system is not perfect. It's imperfect, obviously. You have some people who go to jail for years and years and years for really minor things. And then you have some people who literally live an entire full life of corruption and is protected through our judicial system. It's just crazy, 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 crazy. Let's see what you guys are saying. Money over goes manure like bullshit, LOL. Money over manure. I love it. I love it. Hey, Diva 1670 or 1675. She goes, person was asking how long was Erika Jayne persona versus being Erika Girardi. Gotcha. Thank you. Can I get a win? It says, yes, say it at Candy Washington. We are smart. We can see the invisible and hear the unheard. That's right. Like, I don't want to go, like, we collectively, we're smart. We smell through the manure. You see what I'm saying? Hey, Diva 1675. She was, Ronald Richards said he wants to garnish her housewives checks to pay back the victims. I would be for that. I think you should. The conservatorship protects Tom from being dealt with. Exactly. Exactly. And it's just like, why was that conservatorship allowed? Was there an impartial doctor that said he actually had diminished capacity? Was there tests done? Is there documentation? Because from everything that I've seen, from watching the Housewives, Tom is more than capable. More than capable. So why was that allowed so quickly and so easily? Because truth be told, it is actually very, very difficult to put a conservatorship over someone unless you're paying off the right people. Look up Britney Spears. Her dad was paying off people, paying off doctors, lawyers, X, Y, and Z to get her into a conservatorship. Allegedly. But in reality, in the day-to-day, when we're not dealing with the Britney Spears and the Tom Girardis, it is actually extremely difficult to get a conservatorship over somebody's life and finances and all of that stuff for good reason. So you don't end up with the Britney Spears people that people are trying to take advantage of people. Hey, we got a caller.
Hey, Candy. Hey, baby. How you doing?
I'm good. Hey, beautiful.
Hey.
Hi.
I have to support you. I support my people. I have to support you. I like your theories, and I love that Erica's true colors are coming out, because she's been wearing this mask for so long that it's cracking.
Yep.
And her cronies around her. Wow. I'm with Sutton. It's guilt by association. I'm not finna let what you doing tarnish my reputation. I done worked too hard to get where I'm at, to have whatever the funk that you doing that's gonna come looking bad on me, because I'm supporting you, but I'm not saying anything about the victims. So I'm supporting you in that mess. I'm not. No. And Kyle, Dorit, if she comes looking like hooker number 4 one more time.
Not number 4.
Yes.
Not number 4.
Girl, when she came prancing down there when they was at Lake Tahoe, I'm looking like, that's not cute, because it's Gucci. It's supposed to be stylish. You look like a hooker. Because Lisa was like, oh, that's Gucci. You look wonderful. No, you don't. Like, okay, no, boo, you could have kept that. And I'm like, with Kathy, she's like, oh, I feel underdressed. I love Kathy. Kathy bringing it with this season, boy. She said, I ain't in that mess. My name is Bennett. I ain't in it. That's her problem. It ain't mine. And if Kyle was smart, she better listen to her older sister and step away. You can pull back off of a person when you see what they doing. Like, boo, that ain't cool. If you knew, but you acting like you, and at that table, she didn't care. Now you showing that. I would have had to pull you to the side, like, I love you, but I love my family more. I can't rock with you. I'm sorry. But deuces, bye. Come on now. Because when Garcelle said her story about her sister, and she said the victims, because you didn't say anything about the victims. She went like, oh yeah, the victims, all dry.
Erica's evil.
All dry.
That look she gave when she got into the Range Rover gave me the chills. It was.
Ooh, like, okay. Because I understand people body language. When the victim story came, but it started talking about the victims. If you wanted people to believe that you had any emotional context with the victims, your shoulders should have dropped. As in, I feel for them. I got, they got to get their money. That ain't got nothing to do with me, but they got to get their money. But you didn't. You were still rigid, surveying that crowd like, you bitches can't touch me.
Exactly. She had no empathy.
No.
And not even empathy. She didn't even have sympathy. She felt nothing for them.
Nothing.
Nothing.
They was like, oh, those are peasants. I don't care. I'm on my throne. I'm Queen Erica. Y'all here to serve me. And if somebody don't smack Rinna upside the head, because you fail to realize, people, they can call each and every one of you into court.
That's what Ron Richardson was saying. Or is it Ron Richards? He was saying that they might depose Lisa Rinna.
Right.
Because she didn't run in her mouth.
Exactly. You've been talking too much, boo.
You're doing the most.
All these stories, like when she kept telling these stories over the season, everybody looking like, I ain't asked to hear that. You giving up too much information. Oh, and the accident. You said, wait a minute. First you say he hurt his ankle. Then you say he got thrown from the car. I'm sorry. He's old. If he got thrown from the car, that means he went through the windshield. Where's the cuts and the bruises? Where the broken bones at?
Where's the police report?
Right.
Where's the hospital report?
Right. Come on now.
Where's the proof?
Where's the proof?
You're telling me this man who he's 82 now. So at that point he was like, what, 78, 79? She's saying it was 3 years ago, 79, 80? Was unconscious for 12 hours and no medical attention was sought?
Right.
Come on.
Yeah. You insult my intelligence now. Like, okay.
Girl.
Oh.
And her acting, she was like, I told you about his ankle, but I didn't tell you the whole story.
Like you were watching Telemundo, okay. So you enunciating everything got to be like, whoa, really?
I've been truthful and honest.
And that fake crying. Why was she only crying on one eye? Only one eye had tears coming from it. Like, okay, I said, okay, that's it. I can't deal with this chick no more. No, like, oh, and Lisa Rinna sitting in the chair with like, it's gonna be all right, just rubbing, like, okay, gave her the tissue, and like, girl, if it wasn't for the fact that she loaned you money, you wouldn't be all up her butt. Exactly.
Garcelle, did you have to say that? Garcelle, really? Garcelle, really?
Really? and then my thing is, you're a grown woman, but you always talking under your breath. That's a punk move right there.
Yep.
Like, and then the Garcelle said, "What you say?" Oh, I ain't say nothing. Yeah, I know you didn't say nothing.
That's what I thought. Roll up.
Right. Exactly. Like, not today. Not today. Because when she said F time at that table, that was the beginning. Because she said, and Erica like, what the hell that come from? Like, no, you pissed. No.
Yeah.
Me and Sutton is the only two. Yes, our eyes are not going for your bull. Me, Sutton, and Kathy, and Crystal. But these other fools, that's on them. And what the hell? And Teddy, if you don't shut
up, Teddy. Like Teddy, shut up. Like, why are you here? Why?
Like I thought I was seeing things. I had to look at the episode again last night because I'm like, where the hell she come from? And then when Kyle said, well, I invited Teddy, she told Dorit like, oh, okay.
Why was Teddy there?
Right. You know, and you had on a sundress. It's December.
Not a sundress.
That was a sundress. That's the closest to Christmas colors you can come up with was a sundress.
Teddy's a mess.
Like, okay. And then they was trying to show her some sympathy because, you know, her daughter had failed and she had to have brain surgery. And they showed her, she said, well, she's doing better. I think she said she got 2 more surgeries. That's the only sympathy thing I have for Teddy. But other than that, like, why she here?
You got fired for a reason. Like,
right.
Bye, Teddy. Bye-bye.
Right. And for her to say, well, either you believe her or don't, but you're here to support her. It's not about her. It's about the victims.
Exactly. honestly, it's about victims first, me second, and Erica and Tom don't even make the list.
No.
Victims first, and then like as Sutton was saying, like my reputation, I don't want to be associated with this. So it's the victims first, and then them second, and then Erica and Tom aren't even on the list.
Right, because they're trying to say that Sutton had backed down. No, Sutton was saying the same thing that she was saying at Tahoe.
Yep.
She got to be accountable for what she know.
Yep.
You're responsible. I'm sorry.
Yep.
She said, I got plenty of LLCs, and I'm responsible for everything that goes in and come out.
Yes.
Hey, first, Miss Bernice. Hey, Candy.
Hey, Princess.
Hey. Hey, Marcella.
Hey, Marcella. Hey, so debonair.
Hi. Hi. What are y'all up to? Oh, I'm so jealous. I have fear of missing out. I have FOMO right now.
We at the aquarium in Georgia.
Ah, have fun.
Georgia.
Yes.
Ray Charles can definitely see us. Ray Charles can see us today.
We decided to pop in on you. I said, should I call in? She was like, yeah.
Yes. Mwah. How are you guys?
Fine. We're at the aquarium.
I don't know where the camera is. There it is.
Y'all look like y'all having fun.
We are. We just talking about.
It's about to go down. They were together last night. I just got here.
Oh, yay. You guys have so much
It's about
fun.
to go down.
I want to see some dancing videos.
He gonna make Dan's making the video.
I want to see some dancing videos, especially Miss Marcella. I want to see your dancing videos.
Oh, you know my.
Everything.
He got it.
We're not
Especially when y'all go to the
we just-
club.
Yeah, they went to the club last night. We're going to the club tonight.
You
Oh,
guys
okay.
have fun. Drink it up, dance it up. Yes.
We ain't gonna mess with y'all too long. We just wanted to pop in and say hi.
Love you guys.
Yeah,
I love you.
Yeah, love you. Be safe.
I will. You too.
But,
Bye.
Oh, that's nice. Oh,
That was so sweet. Those are my people. Shout out to Garcelle. Shout out to Princess. Shout out to So Deb. Yes. Shout out.
right.
These are my people.
Right. Because I can't wait for next week when Garcelle, because they're gonna try to attack Garcelle again. I'm like, Garcelle, like, I ain't going for this. Especially with Dorit thinking she can check her. No, Dorit,
Dorit.
I got a whole list for Dorit. 1, I don't know who told you could dress, because you ain't nothing but a label hoe. 2, when they was talking about when there's that in Tahoe, and I love Sutton. She was on the other end of the table when they started talking about when Kathy Hilton said, she said, well, Michael, I grew up with Michael, and Michael always said he don't see color. And Garcelle said, damn, here we go. I got to educate these people again. Like, okay. When you say you don't see color, you say you don't see a part of me.
Exactly.
That's what you're saying. When you say you don't, I understand you say you treat everybody equally. Just say that. I treat everybody equally. But never say I don't see color to another person of color, because you said what's the most important part of me you don't see. I'm proud of me. And
you're also lying.
Hello.
You see color.
Yes.
What you actually to say is I try not to judge people based on the color of their skin.
Right.
But to say that you don't see color is just a flat out lie.
Lie. Like, okay. And that's what I'm saying. Like, and Sutton said, I learned my lesson. I'm not saying a word. It's on Garcelle. Let her know. She said, and Garcelle told her, she said, well, I'm a woman. I'm a mother. I'm a sister. I'm a daughter. I can't change my blackness. That's a part of me.
Yep.
I can't take it off. And you don't see it. It's a part of me. When I go out to my door, they see a black woman. That's a part of me. So when you say you don't see that, you're diminishing me.
Mm-hmm.
And Kathy, she thought about it. She said, "Damn, I never really thought about it." Like, that's what I'm trying to let you know.
Exactly. And you've never thought about it because you never had to. You
Right.
don't have to have the uncomfortable thoughts and uncomfortable conversations. That's why it's called white privilege.
Right.
You have the privilege not to have to worry about the everyday things that we have to worry about.
Right. Because even when Crystal, she said, my parents just told me, just don't make waves. She said, because she said, even though people be wrong when they be teasing her about her eyes and stuff like that, she said, just put your head down and just walk away. That's unfair that I gotta be ashamed of who I am because you want to make jokes about what I look like. Because of your insecurities, not mine. Because of yours. I'm like, okay. And Dorit said, well, my mother has her best friend is black. Dorit.
That's like that's a racial like trope. It's like, oh, I'm not racist. I have black friends. My friends are black.
And then you put your foot further in your mouth when you say, well, all of my help is either Hispanic or black. And Garcelle said, okay, so your kids only see black or brown people in a servant role. They don't see them as equal.
Exactly.
And Dorit she gonna like, no, Garcelle, you've been to my house. Everybody done been to your house and they seen the help.
Exactly.
And for you to feel like you gotta check her next week. No, boo, you gonna get checked.
You gonna get checked. I think Garcelle lays it down. She goes, F you with that, F you, all around the table.
Right.
It's so true. It's so true. Get out of here. I want to say thank you so much to DGF627 for the super chat. She says Garcelle's eye contact with Erica when she said F Tom implied an F you too, Birch. Yeah, that's because Erica is writing for Tom because Tom is supplied Erica with all her money. Tom and Erica were in on it. Point blank period. Allegedly. Yeah.
No doubt about it. Even if she found out after the fact, you still went along willingly and you didn't care.
Right.
Because the machine had already been rolling when he married you. It already had been set up where he was stealing money from his clients and from his firm. So you just came in on like, ooh, I got somebody that's going to take care of me. Oh yeah. Give me my money, Daddy. Give me my money.
Exactly. Birds of
just
a feather.
Just admit that. And I wouldn't look at you side eyes, but you just on your throne and I'm Queen Erica and everybody's beneath me. No. Right. Erica. No. Like, okay. And you and Lisa Rinna, and would you let Harry out the closet, please?
Okay. On that, again, alleged. And I want to be respectful to the LGBTQIA community. So when we talk about this, I always want to make sure that we're not saying it in a negative way to them. We are just talking about alleged word on the street. And allegedly, Harry has a boyfriend in Canada, and he might like to cross-dress, sort of like, what's his name? Like a Caitlyn Jenner type situation. Right. This is all alleged. And again, this is nothing against LGBTQIA community at all. Nothing at all against them. But to your point, she did bring up that he had acrylic nails.
Right, because she said he plays guitar and he don't like to use the pick. Because Dolly Parton been doing that for years where she used her nails to play her guitar. I'm like, okay, Dolly been doing that for years, no problem. But Dolly's okay, but just be who you are. Well, she always saying, I just keep it real. Well, then if you always saying you keep it real, own it. You keep owning it. Let him own himself and be comfortable in himself and just be himself. That's the only thing I'm saying. That's the only thing I'm saying.
And it's also like own your own truth, Rinna. If you are married to a man and you love a man who might have other persuasions, that is okay. But you go out here, you come for everybody else's relationships, you come for everybody else's neck, you try and make everybody else own it, and you don't want to own your own stuff. She's another Giselle from Potomac.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's another Giselle from Potomac. You want to sit at the table, you want to poke and poke and poke at everybody else's life, everybody else's relationship. But when the mirror gets pulled up to your face, you want to balk and act like you're above it and you're untouchable. No,
Right.
You're on a reality show. You're getting paid to show your life. You're the #1 pot stirrer in everybody else's life. It's time for them to be accountable and transparent and to show what is really going on behind the scenes.
Right. Like, come on now. That's the only thing I'm saying. Like, and when he cooked for all of them, and like he was all comfortable in the kitchen and everything like that. Harry comfortable being Harry. I always love
Harry.
Yes, I have always loved Harry Hamlin. I've been a fan of his ever since Clash of the Titans, and that's been a long time. But he's comfortable with who he is. I wish Lisa would be comfortable with who she is instead of trying to this role that she's playing where I gotta own it and make sure everybody own they truth, but you're not owning your truth.
Exactly. Just be honest about it.
Right.
You dragged Denise last season for filth for an alleged makeout session with Brandy, but you don't want to be honest about what's going on in your household.
Right.
You just need to be honest about it and own it.
Right. I'm looking like, and I know Denise is sitting back watching this and laughing her butt off this season.
She might come back next season to go toe-to-toe with Rinna. I hope she does.
I hope so too.
I hope Denise comes back and she comes back swinging. I would love to interview Rinna and Dorit and just really give it to them. Like I would just, because Dorit only because do not come for Garcelle. Like
exactly.
Just don't Dorit. I don't really want to give it to Dorit. And then Rinna just in general.
Because even when they was at the Tahoe house and she kept getting on Kyle, like, Kyle, why didn't you just have some help here? She said they was here early. They had to leave. They wasn't here for all day. And like, you could take your plate into the kitchen and rake it and put it in the dishwasher. Ain't nothing wrong with you. Like, you sure? Okay, Dorit. Okay, woo. When the last time you've been in the kitchen cooking for your husband and your kids? I ain't never seen you in the kitchen cooking a dinner.
Nope.
I will give it to Kyle. Kyle liked to cook. She was
like
going
Kyle.
there. Yeah, that part I like about her. But the other fake stuff she can keep.
That is true.
Because Kyle and Lisa informed Erica everything that was said at that meeting.
100%.
Because 100%. she came in there with her shields up. She was ready for him. Now, if you ain't never know anything about it, you would have came in relaxed, like, hey, girl, how you doing? And stuff like that. Now, when they started answering the questions, then you would have froze up. But you came in there ready to fight.
She came in there ready to roll. And that's why she drove, because she wanted an excuse not to drink, because she wanted to be able to come there and be 100% on
right.
and not get caught hard. Yep.
Right. I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, right.
Yep.
And the way that even Kyle had his seat, she had Lisa next to Erica. She had Sutton next to Erica.
Next to Erica. She did it on purpose.
You had Garcelle across from Sutton, and then it was you, and then Dorit. Because when Garcelle kept checking, like, that's not what you said in Tahoe. That's not what you said at the meeting. Like, come on now.
I think they got to Dorit too, because they have a little alliance. And I think they checked Dorit being like, so when this goes down, you're going to have Erica's back.
It's about the victims. It's not about Erica. Erica is not the victim here.
She's the perpetrator.
Right. Like, come on now.
Perpetrator. Yeah. And it's like what Ron Richards was saying. He was saying that it's not about, like, even benefit of the doubt, which I don't really want to give her, but let's just say we did. Even if she didn't know, she's still liable, because you're not entitled to stolen money.
Exactly.
So let's just say, and this is like legally, allegedly, whatever, benefit of the doubt, say she didn't know, she's still liable to pay it back. It's like if somebody pays me with stolen money, legally I'm supposed to give that money back.
Right.
If you win stolen money or whatever it is, legally you're still liable for it, even if you knew or not. That's why when Sutton was like, if the devil himself put money in your LLC, it is still your responsibility to know where that money came from.
Exactly.
And that's true. So like, even let's just give Erica the biggest benefit of the doubt. She had no idea. She's still liable. If you receive stolen money, you are legally liable to return that stolen money, because you're not allowed to have stolen money, or else victims would never get paid.
Exactly. That
So
same thing liable. Is if like it was a lady in Louisiana where they had deposited thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars in her bank, and she spent it, and they came back after her like, that wasn't your money. You got to pay this money back. So everything you bought, you got to take back, and you got to pay this money back.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. You're not entitled to stolen money.
No.
Yeah. And she knew, allegedly, but
allegedly. Even after the fact, you found out.
Yeah. And it's like, and now you know.
Right.
So again, benefit of the doubt. You had no idea. Now you know, and you literally are doing everything in your power to hold on to every red cent. She refused to give her books, her bank statements, all of that stuff. She was holding up everything. Oh, we need to figure out what that man did. No. You know what happened. You know what's going on. Like, if Erica played this whole thing wrong, whether she knew or whether she didn't know, whatever, if she would have came out and said, I am mortified that my husband did this or allegedly did this, whatever it is. I had no idea. My heart breaks for those victims. What can I do to help? Everyone would have been on her side. That would have been the comeback plan. Everyone would have been like, oh my God, poor Erica. Her husband was hosing her this whole time. She got conned too. She's a victim too. She had no idea. Well, let's make sure she's taken care of. She's trying. But she came out here with such arrogance and such ego and such narcissism and such a lack of empathy for the people whose lives that he literally destroyed. That is why we are gunning for her. Because she played this completely wrong, but that's what narcissistic, vapid people do, because they think that they are entitled to things that they are not entitled to. They think that they are above people that they are not above. They think they're smarter. They think that the rules don't apply to them. And that's why she has that nasty, nasty attitude and that evil ass look she gave in that car. I'm sorry, when I saw her face in that car, my stomach soured. She looked evil. And I was just like, she did this.
Right.
Like, she did this.
She had that look on like Cruella de Vil. And I've been calling Giselle that all season, because when they got on the bus when they was going to Virginia, and her face just turned completely. I like, oh, she looked like Cruella de Vil. Like, oh yeah, she Cruella from now on. Cruella had one Dalmatian. Yes, that's her and Robin. Yes, that's her and Robin. Yes. Ooh, like, ooh, I mean, her, like, yeah, that's how that. Yeah.
It was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Right. I was like, they had to know. And then also, it's like, again, just thinking about it, how can Tom get an impartial trial in Beverly Hills, in LA?
No.
There's no way, because he knows the judges, he knows the clerks, he knows the lawyers, he knows the Erica's son is a cop. You know, he's given to different charities and politicians and, you know, sheriff's department funds and all that stuff. Think about it, right?
Right.
Remember Jeffrey Epstein when he was in West Palm Beach or Palm Beach or whatever it was, and he donated all this money to the police department. He got them like new mopeds and new equipment and all that stuff, basically as hush money. And that's how he got all of his like charges like really super diminished and all. Oh yeah,
because he was on a furlough. He could leave out in the day.
Yes. What Where did you do that at?
But had to be back there by 8 o'clock. I'm like, wait a minute. He's a convicted sex offender. What? When I looked at that documentary, I'm looking like, what the hey?
It was just like, go. It was like, oh, here's your breakfast, Mr. Epstein.
Right.
Hey, Mr. Epstein. Oh, welcome back, Mr. Epstein.
Mr. Epstein. I'm like, okay, y'all. He's a convicted sex offender. That they proved that he did what he did.
Yeah.
And y'all let him go out and go do whatever he want to do.
And that's another example of how high the corruption goes. Because in Jeffrey Epstein's example or situation, there were local detectives and police people who were like, why aren't we taking this guy down? And then when they thought they got to that point, I think it came from a higher up person, like someone above their pay grade, was just like, oh no, he's going to plead to this and he'll get this and blah, 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 blah. So that's when they even knew, oh, wow, this is actually bigger than we thought. Yeah. It was like the attorney general or something at the time who did it. And then it came out that Jeffrey Epstein had partied with this particular person.
Right.
And that's why I'm saying I scratch your back, you scratch mine. I have dirt on you, I'm going to pay you off. You pay me off, I won't give you your dirt. It's all a big scheme. It's all a big corrupt scheme. All of these people in power, I'm not talking about everybody in power, obviously. There's some amazing, beautiful, great people in power. But when you talk about these particular situations, once you pull the lid off, you see how it's really just a network of corruption.
Yeah.
It's a network of corruption.
Because even the years that the victims put in complaints with the California State Bar, and they didn't do anything.
How is he still allowed to practice law? How?
That just astonished me. I mean, you got 20 years of complaints.
Yep.
And he's still doing what he's doing. But when I looked at the documentary, he kept telling that the boy who survived the fire and his girlfriend died. Yeah. And he kept saying, like, the judge as well. I keep telling him, like, you want your money, but because of your age, you feel like you're just going to spend it and not be responsible for it. I'm looking like, you can't tell me what I can do with my money.
Exactly.
And he kept putting on, well, the judge is this and the judge is that. And then kind of found out the judge said, I never said that to him. I signed off on the paperwork for him to get his money.
Exactly. Tom Ben should have been disbarred.
Right.
Tom Ben should have been in jail for what he did. And it's another thing that Ron Richards says, and I agree with this, because I always talk about educating yourself and being your own best self-advocate. Like, I've gotten really good at, I speak up for myself now, I research and I push back, because your lawyer is not your business partner. Your lawyer is not your friend. Your lawyer is your lawyer. So if your lawyer comes to you and you get a settlement and they're trying to say, oh, hey, like, I know what's going on with your life. Let me manage this money for you. Let me invest it for you. Oh, I got da-da-da-da-da. That is wrong. That is a huge red flag. And if anybody listening, if it's you or someone you know, and you're about to come into some settlement money, make sure you know exactly how much money your settlement is actually for. Because a lot of times, I'm not going to say a lot of times, but sometimes if you're not dealing with a honest, reputable lawyer, they can lowball you. So say your settlement is for $100,000, but your lawyer comes back and says, great news, we got you $50K. So you might think your settlement was only for $50K, but it was actually for $100K. You see what I'm saying? So you need to make sure that you look at the paperwork, you have confirmation from a third party of what your settlement money was, because just because your lawyer says you got this doesn't make it true.
Exactly.
So you got to make sure that you have a third party, you have the paperwork, you spoke to whoever you need to speak to, that your lawyer is telling you how much money you actually got. And so once you confirm that they're not trying to skim off the top, because you really got to look out for yourself. You have
and it's all a part of public record.
It's all a part of public record, all that stuff. So you have to make sure that you educate yourself how much money you're supposed to get, and you get paid first. not last. So make sure your lawyer, as soon as that money hits their account, it's hitting yours.
Right.
The lawyer gets paid last. They get their portion after you get paid. And remember, your lawyer is not your friend. Your lawyer is not your business partner. Your lawyer is your lawyer. Keep those boundaries very clear, because that's how Tom was able to manipulate these people. Because remember, they said how he showed up at the hospital. He really put an interest in everyone. He was like, oh, you're young. You're going to spend the money. No, let's invest it this way. Your money will grow. We'll give you this little bit of amount, blah, 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 blah. So he came in pretending to be their friend, got their guards down, and then he came in and acted like he was this big business person and he was going to give them this business investment advice. No, your friends are your friends. Your lawyer is your lawyer. Your business advisor is your business advisor, and keep those things separate. And very clean, because that is how he was able to groom all of these people, by pretending to be their friend and then acting like he had this great business mind. And the whole time he was robbing them blind.
Right. Because even in the documentary, the honest people who was at the firm, one person checked him, like he said, "Was Tom?" He said, "Why is such and such settlement still in the company's bank account? That was 2 months ago. Why they don't have their money?"
Exactly.
Oh, I take care of it. I take care of it. It was just oversight. It was just oversight. No, because you wasn't able to move it to your bank account and steal it.
Exactly. And that's another thing. If people are knowing these things are going on, how come nobody was blowing the whistle?
Because there was no checks and balances.
No checks and balances. And also, I think if these people weren't being paid off to shut up and go away, maybe they were also intimidated or scared. Like, if I say something against Tom Girardi, who's this big bad lawyer, maybe that could affect my relationships. Maybe that could affect my career.
Right.
So a lot of people probably got scared and intimidated into silence. And then also a lot of people just got money to shut up.
Yeah.
And that's where all that money went.
Yeah.
Hush
money, pay them all.
This fake lavish lifestyle that they really could not afford, and offshore accounts. That's where the money resides. Hush money, offshore accounts, and this lavish lifestyle that they had that they really could not afford. That's where the money is.
The same way they brought down Al Capone. They didn't bring down Al Capone because of the drugs and the alcohol. They brought Al Capone down for taxes.
Exactly. And that's how they're getting TURMP. That's how they're going to get Mr. Orange Man. They're going after his tax evasions.
Right. So, hey, once they get those forensic accountants in there, that's why I love the movie Accountant with Ben Affleck, when he showed, wait a minute, he had all that wrote down, like, wait a minute. Oh, there it is. And they're like, oh, we're not interested in that anymore. Oh, he found out where the money went. Oh, now you're not interested? Okay.
Exactly. Let me take this question real quick. So Diva1675 says, good advice. I'm supposed to get a settlement this fall. I try to check in on my lawyer, but I will watch my lawyer more. Yes. So for everyone who either just joined or didn't hear me, yes, Diva, make sure that you check in on your lawyer. Make sure that you know how much your settlement amount really is, and make sure you get paid first. Also, check any contracts you signed. Make sure that the percentage that they're taking of whatever lawyer fee, I don't know what your setup is, but like say it was contingency and they get you a settlement and they get 30%, 33%, whatever it is. Make sure you understand what that structure is. So you know how much the settlement is, you know how much their percentage is, and you know what amount you should be getting.
Right.
So make sure you have all that in place, because sometimes they will try and be like, oh, this fee, that fee, this fee, fee, and you think you're getting this big settlement, and then it all goes to the lawyers.
Right.
So
and it's
sure
all
go ahead
and check public records, because everything have to be filed in the clerk's office. So even if you want to go back and do it for yourself, Freedom of Information Act, I want to pull this.
Yep. Oh, this is a good one. So GGF627 said Tom can't be questioned because of the conservatorship. It was confirmed by Ronald Richards on Up and Adam. And that's what I'm saying. So it goes back to, how is Tom getting an impartial treatment? How was he able to get this conservatorship so quickly and without any true due process? And now he's protected and is not able to be questioned about it, because they're trying to protect themselves and other powerful people whose hands are not clean. That is what this is about. This legal against Tom Girardi, it's performative because it's now out there in the media. If it was not Tom Girardi, I doubt they would have given him a conservatorship. I doubt he would be able to live in his mansion. I doubt that his mansion being burglarized would not have been actually investigated by the police. Like, isn't that standard?
Yes.
Like, nobody investigated that, right? So he was allowed to basically break back into his own house, put everything he wanted into order, hide everything, and that be okie dokie. Tom is being protected still.
And Erica better wake up, because they protected him. They're not protecting her.
Exactly.
Because you running with this diminished capacity, saying dementia, he can't remember. So they're going to question you on what he can't remember.
Yep.
So you're going to be the scapegoat while you up there being Miss, I'm the queen and everybody's supposed to bow down to me. You better wake up.
Yep.
And get you a separate lawyer from him, because they're protecting that boy, that old man, because he know where the skeletons are buried. Because if he go down, he's going to take a whole lot of people down with him. Exactly.
Epstein ended up dead in a cell. That John McAfee person ended up dead in a cell. There's other people, I think it's like Julian Assange, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, all this stuff. These people at the top who have been corrupt for so long did not do it by themselves. It is a web of corruption. And when it gets to the point where they can no longer get away with it, somehow they are protected or silenced. Tom is being protected. These other people were silenced because the people at the top, whose hands are also not clean, do not want to be exposed as well. So Trisha D'Onofrio, hope I said that correctly, Trisha. She goes, yet he resides in his mansion today. Exactly, the wills of justice. Wondering if she will collect life insurance. That's next. Oh, that was cold. Trisha, that was cold. That was cold.
That's the only half.
She goes, hey Candy Canes. That was cold.
But that's the only way she's gonna make her money. Because once they get finished with, I'm sorry, the way they're protecting this man, once they get finished with Erica's gonna have to apply for food stamps. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she should at least. But I mean, who knows? Who knows? Because maybe she knows stuff too. So who knows that they're not protecting both of them? And if he does get life insurance, I know that sounds really morbid. I think that should go to the victims. It should not go to her or anybody in his family. It should go to the victims. Yeah. Let's see what you guys are saying. Hey, Wanda Johnson. She goes, lawyers always take their money off top. Once you turn your case over to a lawyer, all your info comes from the lawyer. And sadly, most of the time, they're lying about the settlement amount. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you got to figure out how to get it confirmed by a third party or another person so you know what your actual amount is, because lawyers will do that. Again, I'm not talking about all lawyers. There's great, wonderful, honest people in the world.
Right.
But just to be aware to protect yourself, again, just to repeat, your settlement really could be like $100K, and your lawyer comes back to you, guess what? We got you 50. And they're actually taking the 50 off the top, and then they're also going to take a percentage of that 50K they told you. So you really have to be careful and figure it out. And you're right. The lawyers take the money. They don't talk. They always say, don't talk to them, just talk through me. But no, be your own advocate. Be a bug, because it's your money and you deserve to have it. It's your money. So you got to be careful. Got to be careful. P says, at Diva65, the California bar has too much egg on their face. Tom's protection will not last. I don't know. I
mean, 20 years of complaints and nothing.
And nothing? because he's paying him off. Sniff my fingers for a quid. Ew. Erica is more awake than you and I. Trust me, she's lived the perfect life off the backs of others. She slept like a baby for years until she got caught. Yeah. Yeah. It's insane. Insane. Yeah, we just have to be really, really careful and just really protect ourselves and really watch out for ourselves.
Right.
Yeah. DGF67 says Tom is being protected to date. He is being protected because he knows where the bones are buried. He goes down and the lid is taken off. The other people whose hands are not clean will be exposed.
Yep.
Because this money, again, alleged, but logic, all of this money did not just go to Erica's career and throwing parties and mansions and cars. Sure, that was a lot of money, but I think a lot of money also went to just keeping people quiet, payoffs, hush monies. And also, I still think a lot of that money is offshore.
Exactly.
And Erica knows exactly where it is. I bet you she knows the account numbers by heart. Let's see what you guys are saying. DGF6F said there's probably another geriatric freak waiting in the cut for Erica Jane. Oh no, don't say that. Woo, that's rough. Ironically, for all the bravura, Erica doesn't strike me as a sex positive person. You know what I'll say about that? I don't know if this is what you meant, DGF, but Erica to me isn't sexy. It's the same way like her and Dorit are not fashionable. Just because you wear a label that might be a knockoff or that, you know what I mean? To me, that doesn't make you fashionable. And I don't think that Erica is attractive and I don't think she's sexy. She doesn't, you know what I mean? She just seems really like.
Right. Yeah, Jessica Rabbit is more sexy than Erica.
Oh yeah, Jessica Rabbit is like exudes like femininity and like sensuality.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Wanda Johnson says that is so true. Candy happens all the time. The company will not talk to the actual victims once an attorney is involved. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because once you lawyer up, they go through the lawyer.
They go to the lawyer.
That's why I tell everybody. I was like, if you get somebody pull you get involved with something like my nieces and nephews, and you don't know what they doing, and the cops pull you over saying they're finna arrest them, and you in the car with them. I want my lawyer. They can't answer you another darn thing. I don't know. Lawyer up. Protect yourself.
Yeah. And Diva1675 is saying, I don't think it's a coincidence that Erica Jane, the performer, started around the time got this settlement money. No, this is the thing. Tom has been doing this for decades, documented for decades. So I think Erica, the performer, because remember, he didn't just get one settlement money. He's been doing this to multiple victims, multiple cases for decades. So yes, you're right. Erica, the Jane, the performer, was only able to get started because of his scheme. But I allegedly, based on dates and times and documents and lawsuits, he's been doing this for years. He has been corrupt for years. But you're right, Erica Jane was only able to be Erica Jane because he was allegedly stealing all this money. But he was doing it way before that. And I think she knew, and I think she didn't care.
No, she didn't.
Yeah. That's who you guys are saying in the chat. Aw. DG67 says, right, Bernice. She's no Jessica Rabbit.
Hey.
Yay. Trisha says, pretty is, pretty does. Exactly. Diva6075 says, Tom said on the show. Tom said on the show a joke on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. A man said his wife is beautiful. Tom said, you can have her. She's expensive. It's expensive to be me.
Exactly.
Let's see.
Oh, Candy, have you seen Candace's new video for her song?
I'm sorry.
Did you see that?
I'm sorry. That was really dead wrong of me. I have not seen it.
Oh,
but
girl.
Tell me your thoughts, Bernice. Tell me your thoughts.
Wait a minute. How the heck you going to talk about Monique being so hood and so ghetto, and then you have a hood ghetto video?
Because everybody wants to be Monique. Wendy wants to be Monique. Candace wants to be Monique. Everybody wants to be Monique. Giselle Loki wants to be Monique.
You dancing and you dropping it like it's hot. You twirling your ponytail, trying to do Ariana Grande. Wait a minute. And that's the ironic thing about it. How the black woman gonna imitate the white woman? Like, okay. Make it make sense, Tito. Make it make sense. Like, I'm looking at, did she steal all Ariana Grande's moves? I'm looking at
Candace is another person who isn't sexy to me. Like, she's like a I don't know. I kind of, the way I feel about Candace is, oh wait, Young Rich says, speaking of Candace, her husband is going to check you out, Candy. Oh, he's going to check me out.
Ooh.
I don't know. You know what it is for me with Candace? It's just like, as terrible as she is, because she's pretty awful, I still feel bad for her because I really just don't think she gets it. Like, she's just not in a place, like, emotionally to understand that the problem is her. It's always somebody else. It's always her mother. It's Monique. It's Karen. It's Ashley. It's colorism. It's this. It's jealousy because she has money. No, sweetheart, the problem is you. You say awful, nasty, hurtful things repeatedly to people all of the time. And when anybody says anything to you, you break down.
Right.
The problem is you, Candace, not everybody else.
Right. I mean, but if you want a good laugh, watch her video. I came across it by mistake. I was going through YouTube and then like I saw it look like I had to stop and like, wait a minute. I'm not gonna buy the song, but it's got a good hook. It sounds like I said, something Ariana Grande would sing. I'm looking like that don't sound like you. Wait a minute.
She was doing like soul, not gospel, but like soul.
She sounded like she was singing a Negro spiritual. Let's not go there. Okay.
Not an old Negro.
Oh, like because she was so on the mic or
not an old one.
Sound like a basset hound. I'm looking like that. Don't sound like that song you were singing in the studio. Like, okay, so you trying to mix it up, like, so you gonna sing a fast song, slow songs. Okay, you won't be versatile, but I'm telling you, yeah. Oh,
thank you, Stiff My Fingers for a quid. He goes, can I just say, Candy, you are stunning, hon. Oh, yes, you can.
Yes, you are. You're beautiful. You're beautiful.
So are you, Miss Bernice? So are you beautiful? Oh, DGM says, it's the side eye from Miss Bernice from me on Candace's video.
You know, see, me and DG from Detroit, so he know. Okay.
Plant-based and locked says he will get away with it. I believe it's a shame with Tom Girardi. Yeah, because he's protected. Because it's like they don't want to be exposed, and there's no way he can get an impartial treatment or an impartial hearing or whatever it is. And
they would have to move it out of LA. They would have to.
They would have to move it out of California because he's helped like politicians here and he's helped all of that stuff. They would have to move it out of California. Yeah. Diva says Candace speaks ghetto when she tweets or goes off on people. Maybe it's the trauma from her mom. Who knows?
Well, Dorothy ain't gonna approve of that video. I'm telling you this now.
Dorothy was the director. She was like, Candace, twerk.
Like, no, that don't look like suburb video to me. I'm sorry, no. I'm sorry.
Oh, hey, beautiful one, Miss Bernice. She's laughing.
I'm sorry.
You are a great co-host, Miss Bernice. You're awesome. Everyone loves you.
Oh no. I'm gonna look like, did she watch the WAP video too much? You taking notes? Like, okay.
Taking notes. I'm waiting for the Candace and Wendy collab.
Oh.
Boxer Girl says, that is all irrelevant. He'll likely never make it into court if the dementia diagnosis holds. Yeah.
They will have to.
They're going to let him skate. Because how did he get the conservatorship so fast? They're just going to let him skate. This is all performative because it hit the media.
Right. And my great uncle died of dementia, Alzheimer's. Oh, I'm so sorry. It took years for him where he would be forgetful at the beginning, like other than that. But it took him years to the point where Tom said he can't recall conversations. It took him years to do that. And I'm not talking about 3 or 4 years. I'm talking about 5 to 10 years. So you keep saying Erica kept running this narrative and saying, like, I noticed a change in him in the last 3 to 4 years. You don't notice a change in the first 3 to 4 years.
Yep.
Okay. So that narrative, no, that and it's insulting on people who on a daily basis have to deal with people with dementia, family members, caregivers, and all of that stuff. You're doing an insult to them because dementia is a slow deterioration of your brain.
Yep. Oh, and you know what? That reminds me. It also shows how Erica was trying to play on Crystal and Sutton's experiences with their fathers when it came to getting sympathy for Tom, because she would do that with Sutton because Sutton's father had depression and he ended up taking his own life, and then Crystal's father had Alzheimer's, right? I think he had Alzheimer's, so I think she was trying to like play on their sympathy, like it's been 3 years and he's just not well, and he forgets and he gets so angry and frustrated and he doesn't talk to me and all this stuff. I think she was trying to play on their sympathy because of what happened to their family. Right.
And even Crystal said that. She said it don't take you don't notice in the first 3 to 4 years because they're still basically normal. It's not until this 5, like I said, 5 to 10 years where you notice things and my uncle did get angry, like, because he would forget stuff and like, I know where I did with such and such. I'm like, no, Uncle George is right there. And, we give to her like, oh, okay. But that didn't happen in the first 3 to 4 years. No.
Yep.
No. So that's insulting to us. I'm looking like that. And that's another thing I wanted to jump through the TV and choke the hell out of her for. Like this narrative that like, choke it to shake her, do that pep shake where you want to shake some sense into her. And like, ooh, same thing I want to do to Robin. Like, girl. Oh.
Robin, we're doing Potomac on Monday, but I'm telling you, Robin.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be ride or die for somebody that's not going to be ride and die for me. Giselle throw Robin under the bus every chance she gets.
I'm about to say that. She tore her up at the table. Oh, so are you not taking care of your children?
Right.
Are you neglecting your
Wait
kids?
a minute. So you telling me I'm going to have to worry about CPS coming knocking on my door? Because you said neglect. Neglect can be taken in certain ways. That's emotional, that's physical. Neglect. So come on now. That wasn't funny. That wasn't cute at all on Giselle's part. That's why she's evil.
Yep.
She's evil. And Robin is too stupid to know that the one Dalmatian you can get replaced.
Yep.
You're not my friend. And then the next time she pulled her to the side when the girls got there for breakfast to talk about the depression. You her best friend for years. And she said it's seasonal. So she's been going through this depression for a while, but you ain't been friend enough to notice that your friend going through a depression. What the hey? So you're not her friend. She's an accessory to you, like your purse.
And Dorit, low 100%. 100%. It was crazy. And what you were saying made me think of also like how Dorit low key is also throwing Erica under the bus. She goes, well, she never said this to me. like, I've known her for how long, and she's never said this to me. Because Dorit is trying to cover her own butt while also kissing Erica's butt.
Right.
That's why she talks on both sides of her mouth. Yep.
Like, okay, woosah. Like, oh, and everybody checking her like, no, that's not what you said. Like, no. Because everybody even was looking around like, that's you didn't have that same spirit when we was at the meeting. So how you gonna backpedal now? Like, but but I love the look on Kyle's face, like she had never heard the word F you before.
Oh, Kyle has said that all the time. Didn't she last season say that to Dorit?
Yeah.
She was like, F you, Dorit. F you, Dorit.
F you. Right.
F you, Dorit. So she said it herself. Kyle is nothing but a big old fake, phony, lying.
Exactly. Like, ooh. But even when they was in Tahoe and when Garcelle said, like, well, you don't mind me sharing this with, she said Tom called her.
Yeah.
And then when she did, when Erica turned it on her, like, well, since you want to say it, let me say it right. You know, I'm looking like, no, I'm trying. Don't she just do that? Like,
if I was Garcelle, I would be like, excuse me? Who do you think
that's what Garcelle got up. Let me see. See, I understand Garcelle because it was a lady at work I used to work with that I have to pray every day because she would do
pray every day.
She would do Erica stuff to piss you off, and you have to pray to the Lord, like, Lord, be the angel on my shoulder and keep me calm so I won't catch a case today. In Jesus' name. That's why Garcelle got up from that couch and she went to get her stuff to leave. She said, because if I sit here any longer, I'm gonna leap on this chick, I'm gonna catch a case.
Yep.
And Kathy called her back and they're like, no, baby, don't leave like that. No, we can straighten this out. We can straighten it out. And Garcelle, Grace, went over there to let her know, I didn't do that out of spite or anything. She said, I'm here to help you and everything like that. And her rigid self couldn't even give her the grace back and say, she kept talking while Garcelle was trying to explain it to her. You can't, grace is being given to you and you can't give it back. Shut the hell up and listen.
Exactly.
That's why Rinna got up and left. See, an angel was coming over there to the devil, and the devil had to get up and walk away.
Rebuke
that demon in Jesus' name. I rebuke you. And that's got and Rinna got up and she walked away.
Because Rinna knows this wasn't new information. Rinna is in on it. Rinna is
all the way in on it. Because Rinna's she's still going to
business manager.
Thank you.
Thank you. A lot. That holds a lot, and that's why Erica is paying the business manager's legal fees, and that's why they have the same lawyer so that she can control what the business manager does.
Right.
Because that business manager knows a lot. They need to get him to flip. If they get this business manager to flip, Rinna's going down, Erica's going down, his other clients are going down.
Like, okay. And like and Dorit and her wannabe accent talking self like, you're not from England. Your husband's from England, but you're not. See, Dorit is a chameleon. She's going to take on any personality of the people that she's around. That means she ain't got one on personality of herself.
Right.
So she rah for Erica with Erica there. As soon as Erica leave and talk about the other girls, like, yeah, she did some slow down, dirty stuff. But when Erica back around, like, we're here for you. We're here to support you. Really?
Girl, bye. Dorit, come here. Come here, Dorit.
Right.
We gotta talk to you, Dorit.
Right. We got
Dorit, come here.
I'm like, no, Dorit, no. You need to go back to your designer clothes. Go back and post them on Instagram and getting paid your money, because we know you don't have no job. What happened to her bathing suit line? You know,
because she got sued. The business partner sued her.
Oh damn. Okay.
I remember that. Remember when that woman was? They were in Bahamas or somewhere, and there was a woman with her phone running after Dorit, being like, "You stole our money. Where's the money? Blah blah blah." And she was with Lisa Rinna. And they didn't remember that?
Oh,
What happened with that? I'm sorry, that could not be me. You could not have stolen either my money or my man's money, and I see you out, and it just goes down like that.
No. Yeah, her
all the way to court. Throw you
Dang.
under the courthouse.
So she doing shady stuff too. No wonder her and Erica get along so well.
That's what I'm saying. They all are. So Dorit and PK, again, this is all alleged. So Dorit and PK have been sued individually and collectively by different business partners, different entities for fraud, for not paying their bills, for not paying people back, all of this stuff, for defaulting on loans. That's why the last house they got in Encino, like none of them even live in Beverly Hills. Like who other than like maybe Kathy, but who else? Or maybe does Crystal? I don't even know if Crystal does. Anyway, the house she got in Encino, they had to put it in Dorit's name, not PK's name, because of all of his legal problems. And they keep, and I think that they were renting it, and that's why. And then they keep moving all the time.
Right, because what's that season they supposed to be having? They was moving into their forever home, but that didn't look like the forever home that you had to meet me in. Like
that was a forever rental. That was they didn't own that house. Like, come on, you know what I'm saying? So it's all a big fake front. And remember, they allegedly had that like rose gold Bentley,
right?
Rental. What happened to that? What happened to her swim curl and all this stuff? Where do they get their money from? He manages Boy George, but what is Boy George doing? Like, why are they always together? Like, and that's another thing. Why is PK always with Boy George? It's been COVID. People aren't touring. It's been the pandemic.
Just coming out of it. Yeah,
they're just coming out of it. That's another weird, shady thing. Like, what's going on there? Dorit in her act, that's another thing. It's when these people actually have real life storylines, but on the show they don't, because they don't want it to all come out. But due to social media and the blogs and YouTubers and everything, we all know. Like, how come we're not talking about her defunct bathing suit line? How come we're not talking about them house hopping every other season? How come we're not talking about all of their lawsuits and legal problems? Like, that to me is what we need to be talking about. And then Kyle and Mauricio, they got sued. Well, at least Mauricio's company got sued for the weird real estate scams he was doing. Ooh. Also, Teddy's husband got sued. I think Teddy herself got sued. Who else? Crystal, so far, her biggest scandal is that she was probably an escort. Allegedly. She said she was the receptionist at an escort agency, and then the next year she got married. Girl. To a man who was how much older than her? Girl. We see each other.
Yeah, we see each other. Yeah.
Like, I don't care. If you want to be an escort, be an escort.
Right.
I don't
do
care.
You, boo. Do you, boo.
Do you, boo. That seems to be her biggest scandal.
Right.
Who else is on the show? I think Sutton's money is clean. I think her money is on the up and up.
Yeah, she's from a wealthy family. She married into a wealthy family. So
exactly. Yeah.
That's why she was saying my reputation, like, you're not gonna tarnish my reputation, boo. I cut you loose really quick.
Yep. 100%.
Right. I'm just glad that she's not wearing those couture dresses no more.
Oh, it was too much.
It was too much. I love Sutton when she first came on there, but she was showing her wealth by her couture. Oh, this is couture. I think that's ugly. Okay.
Exactly. I'm gonna go to Couture and get something way cuter, okay?
Oh, like, okay.
Like $50 and call it a day.
Couture, right. It's a one of a kind. Yeah, they saw that. And you paid for that one of a kind. Just to say you can have a one of a kind, but it's ugly.
Boxer T Girl says Kyle, Crystal, and Sutton also live in Beverly Hills. Kyle lives in Encino. Kyle does not live in Beverly Hills. She used to, and then she moved. Dorit and Kyle moved to Encino, and Encino is a fancy word for the valley. They moved to the valley. They moved to the valley. Yeah.
Usually it's the other way around. People from the valley move up and move to Beverly Hills.
Yep.
Because Sutton is written Kyle's old house.
Exactly. Sutton is renting Kyle's old house. So Kyle used to live in Beverly Hills. Then she moved to Encino, which is the valley.
Yeah.
Yep. So who knows? And who else is on the show? Garcelle is on the up and up. She all of her stuff is above board.
I love that scene with her and her kids and her grandkids. That was so nice. Yeah.
Okay.
And her son, her oldest son.
Yeah. What's his name? Owen? Is it Owen? Quentin? I think it's Owen.
Yeah. But I appreciate him telling his mom. He said, "Mom, it wasn't your fault that I got on drugs." He said, "I was hanging around. You told me not to hang around them." And then I'm saying, like, "Oh, my mom don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna hang around them anyway." And I was around with the wrong crowd, you know. I had to learn the hard way. It wasn't your fault. You shouldn't feel guilty. Exactly. That was all on me.
Yeah, I agree. I
bet you Rinna wouldn't have no conversation like that with her daughter.
Oh, no. It's like a fake, like, you're not anorexic and bulimic because of me, right? And then the daughter's like, "You're right, Mom. It had nothing to do with you."
Like a Stepford wife.
Exactly. Ridiculous. Rinna isn't honest about anything. Like, nothing. She doesn't really share what the real deal is going on in her household and what's going on with her staff.
Right. I'm sorry. When she called herself apologizing to Garcelle, and they're supposed to start everything off on new, and Garcelle said, "Well, I don't have to worry about you throwing anything I say in confidence back in my face, and you don't have to worry about me throwing anything you got to say in confidence in your face. You know, what you say to me is what you say to me." And she said, "Oh, I don't know if I can do that." That's when I would say, you know, but excuse my French, but bitch, you on your own. I don't know you.
Exactly.
I don't know you.
So they're saying in the chat that his name is Oliver. Oliver.
Okay. Yes, I love Oliver. Like, yeah, he said, "Mom, it ain't on you. That was my decision. That wasn't your fault."
Yeah. And you know what? To your point about that scene with Rinna and Garcelle, Rinna also gives off the vibe of, I don't really F with you, Garcelle, and I don't really want to, and I don't really care. Right. Remember when Garcelle was like, "It's going to take time," and she was like, "I'm fine with that." Rinna basically was just being like, "I don't really care." Rinna is a really nasty person. She is a really nasty, and even in her confessional, she was just like, "I'm fine with that wherever it's at. Okay, whatever."
Right.
Like, she was so dismissive. Like, she pretty much was making it known, I don't really care about you, Garcelle, and I'm good with not effing with you. Right. That's basically what Rinna was saying.
Right. You know, and then you always saying, "Well, me and Garcelle rebuilding our relationship." No. Garcelle saw who you are for who you are. Garcelle gonna treat you like, 10 feet.
Yep.
I tolerate you because we socialize in the same circle, but you're not my friend. I know you're not my friend.
Yeah.
And she gonna push it so far that if like I said at another show, if she start talking in French and her Haitian accent come out, Rinna better run.
I want to see it.
I'm
so team Garcelle. I love Sutton. I put Crystal and Kathy. I'm here for it. I want someone to really give it to Rinna, whether it's Denise, whether Kim comes back and does it, whether it's Garcelle. I want someone to go for Rinna's neck and just really read her for filth.
Yes.
She's such a nasty person.
Nasty for no reason. Tell
the truth. What did you say? Own it. Rinna. And what they did to LVP, I will never forget.
That puppy cake thing.
I will never forget what you did to LVP. Never.
And Lisa moved on and like, "I don't know you, chick." Yeah, I believe if Rinna could be on fire and LVP come across her, she's gonna step right over like, "I don't know you. I don't know you."
Yep.
Because I'm sorry, you know the people you know the longest on that show has been Garcelle and Denise, and you treat both of them bad. So you know, friend of nobody.
No, She's only a friend to herself. And she
Right.
only walks with Erica because Erica gave her some money, or they know, or she knows where the money is or something like that. And she
Oh no, she loaned her the money for her makeup line. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Mm-hmm. She didn't do that on her own.
No.
Because no, she didn't do that on her own. No.
Because, and also allegedly, when it comes to Rinna, word on the street, isn't her house like mortgaged out of the world, and like she's actually pretty broke, and their house is like mortgaged beyond belief and all this stuff. That came out too because Ron Richards tweeted the court documents about it, because Rinna was coming out on Erica's defense and was talking crap about him, and he was just like, "Oh, you coming for me?
I'm gonna come for you.
I'm gonna come for you, and here are the court receipts."
You never tit for tat with a lawyer.
Yep, that's why I'm telling you. I keep no, like I'll get up here and I talk, but I'm not doing no reality show. I'm not doing any of that jazz.
No.
You
couldn't. No.
I will do an acting job. I will read a script and I will go into a character.
Right.
Nope.
Right. Because if they ever did the Real Housewives of Detroit, it'd be majority of the chicks in the Bloomfield Hills and stuff like that. And they got plenty of skeletons in their closet. It ain't funny. Because these same people, because when we come back when school starts back here in Detroit, it's a mask mandate. The superintendent already said all the students got to wear a mask, and all the staff got to wear a mask, and the staff is going to be vaccinated. Because in Detroit, it's 12 and up can get the vaccine. The ones that's 11 and under, they can't. They don't have it for them yet. So to protect the ones 11 and under, everybody got to be vaccinated and wear the mask.
Yeah.
These people in the suburbs, and some of them, like in Bloomfield Hills, where the money at, and stuff like that, they running on, well, you can't tell me as a parent that my kid got to wear a mask. If your son or daughter is not 12 or up, and they haven't been vaccinated to protect them and the other students around them, yes, we do. But they keep running like, you violating my rights. No, it's not about your rights. It's not about that. It's about protecting the children. And all these parents in these board meetings on this assumption like, you're protecting my rights. The Constitution says the pandemic wasn't around when the Constitution was wrote. So how the Constitution say?
Also, what they're saying literally makes no sense. Mask and vaccines is not about a personal human right. It is about
it's a health issue. Candy and froze.
Oh, are we back?
Yeah, we back.
Oh, sorry about that. I might have been my internet. I don't know what just happened there. But okay, but we're back, guys. Okay, so but it's like when you put your 11-year-old in your seat, do you put on a seatbelt? Yes. Are you saying that's against your personal human right? No, because it's for the public safety, the safety of yourself and others. So you don't boycott putting on a seatbelt. You cannot boycott putting on a mask when not wearing a mask puts your health and the health of others at risk. It's not about a personal right. It's not about the Constitution. People really need to stop with all of this stuff. You cannot leave the hospital with your child that you just gave birth to if you don't have the correct car seat.
Exactly.
So are you going to be to the hospital? This is my human right? No, you're going to get the correct car seat so you can get your baby and go home. Put on a mask. It's for public safety. It's not about a human personal right. It has nothing to do with human rights. And if we want to talk about human rights, let's talk about a woman's right to choose. Let's talk about LGBTQ rights. Let's talk about civil rights. Those are the actual rights we're talking about. How about not voter suppression, where you're taking the right to vote away from certain communities? Those are actual human rights. Put your mask on, get vaccinated, and shut up.
Exactly.
It's not a question. We need to start. We've been trying to give carrots, like, oh, get $100 if you get vaccinated. We got to start doing some sticks. You can't do this. You can't do that. You're going to get fined. If a police officer pulls you over and you don't have your seatbelt on, you're getting a ticket. Exactly. It's not about your human right. It's a public safety situation. So put your mask on and shut up. Put your mask on.
Right. Because even here in Detroit, the health department even had where you can call them up and they would come to your house and give you your shot. That's how I got mine.
Yep. Okay, so Casey is saying, but you can still get COVID though. Right. The point of wearing a mask and getting a vaccine isn't saying that you will never get COVID or you are immune to it. It is just doing every step to have an extra layer of protection. So at the same exact thought, you can be in a car, wear a seatbelt, get in a car accident, and still die. You could be wearing a bulletproof vest, get shot, and still die. It's just an extra layer of protection that you're doing. Right. So obviously no one is immune to it, but you want to do everything in your power to not get it, or if you do get it, to mitigate the effects of it, and then also not to transfer it to other people. That's why it's public safety, because whether or not I get vaccinated or wear a mask does not just affect me. It affects everyone around me, everyone I come into contact with. Public safety. Yes. So that's why this isn't about a personal human right. It's universal. It's public safety. And if you can have these layers of protection, the mask, the booster shot, the vaccine, why would you not? And the fact that if I choose not to could potentially hurt someone else, that is what the issue is. COVID doesn't isolate. It's not just you decided not to get a vaccine, so you're the one who's going to die from it. No, it doesn't isolate. It's like a bullet or a car accident. It's not personal. It knows no names. No one is exempt from it. That's why you wear the seatbelt. That's why you put on your bulletproof vest. That's why you do anything to protect yourself. So yeah, you can still get it. You get hit by lightning, you get hit by a bus, but you do certain things to protect yourself and protect other people too. And that's why it's so important to do it. Yeah.
And your case may not be as severe as if you didn't have the shot.
Right.
Because ones who have come down with it after they got the shot, they had a milder case of COVID if they didn't have the shot. So their body was building the antibodies. They hadn't just built up enough for them to fight off the virus.
Yeah. Ooh, okay, TT. Calm down. So Callie Noya says the vaccine does not stop you from spreading COVID. Wear a mask. That's right. That's why it's another thing. It's everybody's safety, because you can spread it to other people. I could get COVID and have no symptoms whatsoever and then give it to somebody else and that person could die.
Right.
You just don't know. That's why you do this stuff, to protect yourself. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
That's that. Okay, you guys, we have been on here for 2.5 hours.
Oh,
we've talked the whole gamut. We've had beautiful Mrs. Bernice, gorgeous co-host. So you guys, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, because we are going live. The schedule is up. And share this. And if you're watching the replay, thank you so much. I love that you guys are such great ride or dies. I love my candy cane. We have such a beautiful community. I love you, Miss Bernice.
Love you too, Candy.
Pleasure to have. Today was such a good fun Kiki. And don't forget, everything is just for fun, alleged, opinion, speculation, just for shits and giggles.
Right.
So,
Don't take this seriously, because if you inbox me saying you suing me, you ain't gonna get jack. Okay.
You're not gonna get anything. Exactly. So this is all just for fun.
Just for fun. Just
having a good time. These are all public figures, so we're allowed to talk about it.
Right.
So, we love you guys. We love you too. DJ says YouTube will strike me for saying COVID-19. Be careful. Yeah, I'll be careful, but I would rather, if I can get through to one person to get vaccinated and to be healthy, it is worth it. Yes. Okay, you guys, I love you. We will be back tomorrow, 12 o'clock, talking about love and marriage.
Huntsville. Okay. Oh, that's going to be good. Okay.
It's going to be good. I got some thoughts. I always
do. Okay.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Have a good one, everyone. Okay. Bye.